Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Revolution Cast, brought to you by Tiger Prince Entertainment. Joining me on the line, I'm Hank Davis, of course, and joining me on the line, he's my partner in crime. He is Alex Cruz. How are you, Alex?
Hey, I am really great.
Good deal.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes, and for the video watchers of our YouTube channel, I've got my Don King outfit on this Halloween. So it's
I'm dressed up as the Invisible Man.
nice. Pretty much the same costume you use every week then, right? Awesome. All right, Alex, we had a week off, so we should be well rested, my friend. Did you have ratings for Revolution, Sex and Drugs?
I do have ratings. Now, as we all know, the Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, which greatly affected the ratings. Not only the ratings of Revolution, but all the ratings over the whole night. So basically, TV by the numbers is kind of calling it a wash for that week, and they're not really counting the ratings, if that makes any sense to anybody. However, I almost said Falling Skies.
Nice.
Revolution did a 7.9.
Oh, okay.
Which is the lowest they had so far. But when we compare it to other shows that evening, it was pretty respectable.
Okay, that's fair. As long as it's even across the board, hey, those things will happen.
Now, I want to share with everybody what happened as I was watching TV this week. I was watching Walking Dead on Sunday, and the first thing that came to my mind was, boy, this is a lot like Revolution.
Really?
Yeah.
Walking Revolution Dead?
Exactly. And I wait a minute. That's what we say about Revolution. That's a lot like Walking Dead.
That is cool. That is cool. The shoe's on the other foot this week.
It is.
Alex, shall we jump right into this review?
Yeah.
All right. This episode was titled Sex and Drugs. So the group is stolen a wagon when we start out. They take one from the Monroe militia. Who else would they take one from, right? Because they got to get help for Nora, and her wound is now infected because remember how she took it like a champ last time we were talking about her? Now she's out of it, and she's got the infection, and they're they need to head somewhere, get some help.
And evidently she didn't need any stitches. I don't know.
Or they just couldn't afford them in the budget. I'm not sure. But Charlie gets mad at Aaron for saying it's going to be okay. She does not like that phrase one bit.
And you know what? You can't blame her, because every time somebody has said that, it wasn't okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Your mom's leaving.
I loved what she said about it, because I totally agreed with her.
Yeah, she got pretty bent out of shape there.
Yeah, she did. And they said something to the fact that that's what you say when things are actually bad and aren't going to get any better. And I'm like, yep, you know what? I agree with that.
And I'm loving Miles right now because, he's like not happy with her attitude. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? That's what kind of uncle I am. I am the hard uncle. I'm always coming down on these youngsters like, shape that attitude up or else. Used to be
you're not the, hey, let's go to the strip club, kids.
No.
Uncle Hank?
No. I'm the, hey, I'll pound your face in. I realize you're 2, but I'll still pound your face in. It's flashback time for Aaron. I was not really expecting this to be an Aaron-centric episode at first, And then when they flashed back, I was like, well, all right, we get to see something about him. So he's in a limo with his wife, and she looks really familiar. I don't know from what show, but she looked really familiar.
Oh, I'm sure I can find out really quick.
Nice. Just no sheep, okay?
My dad.
Then the power goes out, and the car stops and gets hit by a runaway semi-truck. That freaked me out. So how come their vehicle crawled to a stop, but that semi-truck was just rolling right through?
Well, because their inertia caused the truck to keep on going. See, I could do a whole long scientific explanation, but I don't want to put our listeners to sleep.
Nice. And more at the chalkboard with Alex Cruz. So that was pretty jolting to see that semi go, wow.
Yeah,
like,
well, see, nothing could. You know what? That surprises me too. I wonder if there's any truckers out there that can kind of pipe in on this, because I know that they have air brakes, and I don't know if they're you know how all the electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that controlled the air brakes but you think that trucker would have been able to put the brakes on.
Yeah, you would think it would have stopped just like the limo stopped to, almost a dead stop.
Right. It
but like you said, inertia and force and all that.
Yeah, but still,
stuff.
the brakes should have went off. Or maybe something happened to the driver, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll never know now. General Monroe tells Danny that Captain Neville will be dealt with for the death of his father. And I was like, uh-oh. And then as soon as Danny leaves, he's like, oh, no, I'm not mad. I'm going to promote you to major.
Yeah. I like, yep, that's a nice line.
That was awesome, man, because Neville had that look on his face like, uh-oh. So now we gotta learn his new rank when we say his name now. Major Neville.
So now it's Major, not Captain anymore. Right?
Yeah. And I was like, this. I thought it was one of the best scenes of the whole show. Oh no, I'm not gonna do anything to you. I'm promoting you. You've been wanting to be. What was it, like lead interrogation or something? I was like, that's not a job you'd really try to get. I don't think.
So lead interrogator, and one thing we learned about it's going to keep them at home.
Oh yeah, yeah. My wife will love having me at home, and I was thinking to myself, or will she? So Miles and company make it to this acquaintance of his named Drexel. So they get to this place. It's a nice looking place for not having power in 15 years. Looks pretty sharp. And Miles evidently knows him from way back. Then that Drexel was like, hey, I'm going to shoot you. Get down on your knees. And he's playing it up, and Miles is pretty tense at this moment. And then he's like, oh, I'm just joking. I'm kidding around. Get up. Put your gun. Take your guns off them.
Do you know what? This was almost word from word from The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it was almost the scene where Han Solo and Princess Leia, they go to Cloud City, and they're greeted by Lando Calrissian, who says, "You got a lot of nerve coming back here."
It's a trap.
Thank you, Admiral. And it was almost move for move, word for word, that same scene, and I just started laughing.
That is awesome that you knew that. I've watched those movies a million times. I couldn't have told anybody.
I can act Star Wars out.
By yourself?
Probably.
Nice.
I'm a one-man show.
Nice.
But I don't know. This is kind of off tangent, but yesterday it was revealed that Disney is buying.
Yes, I seen that. I want to talk about that at the end.
All right, cool. I got a whole lot to say about that. So
let's do that. Let's save that at the end.
All right. Hey, I have some late breaking news in regards to the Revolution as well, and I'm going to reveal that at the end of this podcast. Some if you're a diehard fan, you may probably know what I'm going to be talking about.
Nice.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So Aaron asks if they can stick together, but Drexel has his eyes on Charlie. And then he says, I'm going to bury myself in some tail. Am I correct?
Yes, he said that.
And I was like, oh, buddy, the writer wants you to clearly hate this man. Right from the get-go. He wants you to hate him. And that mission accomplished. I was like, he just creeped me out from the get-go. But I thought he was a weird, weird man. Good actor, but really strange man.
It kind of almost like kind of remind me of the Harry Mudd character from Star Trek. Everyone, he was a villain, but yet people liked him.
I don't think anybody's
So
gonna like this guy.
no,
Too strange.
so
And
well, I am looking up right now, Hank, the your actress who played uh,
Aaron's
Aaron's
wife.
wife, and her name is Maureen Sebastian,
Man,
and I don't. It doesn't look like anything that I would see that she was in Law and Order,
okay,
Criminal Intent.
that might be it.
She was in Gossip Girl, but looked
That's
like it was.
definitely not it.
Okay. I thought that was your show too. Uh, Person of Interest.
Yeah, I watched that. That could be it.
She was in an episode of that. Heart of Dixie.
No, definitely not.
Okay, and
Nothing
then
wrong with that show.
That's
Just
it.
not for me. So it could be Law and Order or Person of Interest. It's
Right.
got to be one of those because it can't be any of the other two. So Aaron is up in his room drinking and thinking about his flashback. Now, was it relevant at this point to you that he was drinking out of a flask?
It wasn't as relative to me now as to when come to near the end of the episode
Yeah.
as how relevant it was.
I was wondering because you and my girlfriend seem to catch stuff that no other people seem to catch.
No,
So I
it
was
kind of
just
caught me
curious.
off. It kind of caught me off guard, and it kind of one thing I learned about Aaron this episode is he's not this powerful rich guy anymore, and he's really down on himself because he's not. In his eyes, he's not good for anybody. He's not helpful or anything.
Yeah, he really feels that way, and he's
And I
gonna-
think this episode kind of proved otherwise.
yeah, we'll see if he gets redeemed, I guess. So he's up in his room drinking, and then it's 2 months after the blackout. So his wife is sick, and they're trying to get out of the city, and they come across this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna hurt you." And I was thinking to myself, "Oh, he's gonna hurt him. He's gonna kill the wife." That's what I was thinking.
because as we know, this whole world of revolution's almost kind of like the Wild West,
Yeah, pretty evil.
where it's everybody for themselves and out for themselves, and
Kind of like today.
Okay.
He says that she may have dysentery. So I don't know if anybody's played Oregon Trail, but you lose a lot of people to dysentery. Oh my goodness. So at first I'm thinking this is a bad guy, but we'll find out more about him in a minute. What were you going to say?
well, one good thing we found out about this, she was evidently drinking out of the lake in which the sewage was backing up into that. So basically, basically what it was she was drinking a bunch of poop.
Yeah. And I would have been like, you know what? If I was Aaron, I'd have been like, you know what? No kissing. No more kissing. Sorry. So back at Drexel's place, the doctor wants Miles to give blood to Nora, who is in septic shock. And then the camera pans down and Miles is holding Nora's hand. I was like, oh, they're high schoolers now. It was kind of a cute moment.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not so sure if with what happened else in this episode, if that was something that should have been in there.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't. That
It didn't
like
fit.
you see this one. Yeah, you're right. That's it. It didn't fit. You see this one little moment in which they hold the hands, and then after that, nothing else was mentioned about it at all.
You're right. So maybe it's just a tease for a future or whatever.
Yeah.
In Charlie's room, she's taking a hot bath and thinking about everyone she's lost. When she opens her lunchbox and she starts tearing up all those postcards. What did you make of that scene? Did you care, not care? I kind of didn't care about that scene.
Well, what she's trying to do is she's trying to get rid of her past. This is what she's trying to do. She's trying to be almost an exact copy of her uncle. She wants to be like her uncle, even though she detests her uncle. You can tell how she kind of looks up to him, and she wants to be like that. She wants to be more like him.
Yeah, I think you're
And
right.
that's what I got from this episode.
I think you're absolutely right on that one.
And then there's a scene coming up in which I'll comment later about how it doesn't quite work out.
Jason is reporting to Sebastian and he tells him about the pendant. How convenient. He's like, hey, have you seen this drawing? Oh, yeah, they have one. I'm like, okay. And then Sebastian's like, hey, I'm going to send Sergeant Strausser. Wasn't that his name?
I don't remember.
Strausser or something like that. And Jason's like, he doesn't leave any survivors, which I thought was kind of corny right at that point to put that out there.
Yeah, because right now he automatically has a red shirt, and we know that Miles is going to take care of him.
I'm sending this other guy. So then they go right into the interrogator, Sergeant Strausser or whatever. And he's talking to a young soldier of the militia. And then he's told by Major Neville, I got a little job for you. I'm like, oh, boy, this is his first action as Major. He's going to tell him what to do, where to go, and how to make this happen. So I thought that was pretty cool that, they kind of gave us a little precursor, then they roll right into the scene, which is fine, cuts the fat. Miles wants to get rolling, but Drexel insists that they should stay. After he tells his story about how Miles deserted the militia, and I was like, oh my goodness, he really laid it on thick when he was telling that story.
And also too, since Drexel was a Miles guy, he got kind of looked bad upon too, so he lost his position.
Well, he's like, oh yeah, when you stepped down and deserted, then I couldn't get this, that, and this. I'm like, oh, not good. So he kind of feels like he owes him one.
Right.
And so Drexel appears to be having trouble with the neighbors. And this reminded me of like Hatfields and McCoys. You know what I mean? It's like these houses of a bunch of people. And they're just locked in this battle. So,
and it was kind of like that too.
It was
kind of the impression they gave.
It was very much like that. And so Drexel wants Charlie to kill, I guess, the leader of that family, and or else he's gonna kill everybody else that's left, Miles, Aaron, and Nora, one by one, starting with the Latino Barbie. I was like, oh my gosh, you didn't say that. So they are really, whoever wrote this is really going, hey, dislike this guy. Do you dislike him yet? Dislike him now. Come on. Because they just make him say some of the crudest things. Any thoughts on that little portion?
No, I think this was, this just kind of fleshed out his Drexel's character. He's
complete jerk.
Yeah, he's a complete dirtbag is what he is. And he's selling what was it, opium poppies that he has growing in the front, or
yeah, he's got all kinds of drugs.
He's got that, and he's got prostitutes, and he's got the full thing.
Charlie is all dressed up for her mission, and then Aaron poses the question, you're just gonna kill some random dude? And Charlie's like, I don't have a choice. So Drexel gives her the rundown and her cover story. And then he smacks her, punches her actually. It looked like more of a punch.
He punches her.
To make the story look authentic. And I was like, man, they have added the final component they needed for total douchery, and that is punching a woman in the face. So Aaron stares down Drexel, but doesn't have anything to say, because Drexel's like, oh, do you got something you want to say? And Aaron's, he's ticked, but he's like still not confrontational.
Right.
And this leads us to another flashback. So Aaron and his wife are running for it, but she gets caught and he gets beat up badly. And then that young guy, Sean, who helped, I guess, cure her of dysentery, kicks some butt. He's not only a doctor. He doesn't just play one on TV. He also evidently can kick some serious butt.
So he's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, so he saved the day. So he saves the day there. And, we get to look at Miles kind of, not that he cowered down, but he just couldn't. He's not equipped to do anything in those types of situations. It doesn't appear. Anyway.
He's very passive is what he is. And one thing about Aaron is I kind of relate to that character, and I kind of had similar thoughts to the character's thoughts, and there's like that. Sometimes I'm probably too passive with certain things, and these, my opinion, these type of people are easy targets for bullies.
Definitely, you hit it on the head there. So Aaron is talking to Miles about letting Charlie go do her mission, and Drexel gives Miles some money or whatever for Charlie doing the mission. Now we're even. Aaron says Miles has to go after Charlie and leave him and Nora there. And then Aaron, being the Google guy, he has an idea of how to get out of there. And being a little bit heavier, he knows how to get to the kitchen. It appears in this episode.
Wasn't that kind of cool? He goes, "Oh yeah, this will go right to the kitchen. I had 3 or 4 of these in my house."
I was like, nice. But maybe it's the whole Google mode of thinking that has Aaron down. Do no evil.
No, I think what it is in a, well, it is kind of like that, because in a non-electric world, a non-electronic world, he's useless. Now, have you about 3 or 4 computers, he's right in his element because he knows how those things work.
Yeah.
But he's been out of his element for the last 15 years now, and he feels utterly useless. He's not one of those simple guys that knows how to make fires and doesn't have really quite the Boy Scout skills or anything to do something like that. He's not an Alex Cruz that way. So.
Scout's honor.
That's right.
Charlie walks up to the house and passes quite a few armed guards and asks to see this target, the guy she's got to take out. And I was like, okay, is this, is that part realistic? Would those guys just let her waltz up close to the front there, or would they be doing a little more hooting and hollering and stuff like that?
And well, she basically walks right up. But do you notice what the sign was on the complex?
What did it say? I don't recall.
It said Ohio State.
Ouch.
And so the first thing that came to mind was, oh, how I hate Ohio State.
We're from Michigan, so
go blue.
Go ahead and take him out.
So that's what I thought.
Kind of changed the whole theme of the episode.
Charlie, take him out. I
was better off not knowing. Aaron and Miles take out the guard at the front door, and Miles is off and running through the kitchen. So he meets immediate resistance, and somebody shoots at him, misses obviously, but now that lets.
There was another. I thought of another, like a Star Wars reference right at that part, because it reminded me of with the stormtroopers. Every time they fired upon Luke or Han or Leia or Chewbacca, they automatically missed. They never hit. Then every time they would shoot at them, they'd always hit one.
I thought you were talking about the cantina scene.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
The miss from 2 feet.
Right. I hope Disney fixes some things from the cantina scene. That's all I'll say.
Digitally remastered.
Exactly.
Oh, so now Drexel knows, what's going on. But we go back to Charlie, and she gets to meet the target. They just let her right through. I love that. Love it. But he's got a grandson.
And he's a very likable guy. He's like total opposite of Drexel.
Yeah, and she's seeing this whole stuff going, seeing his wife and his grandson, and now you can tell she's getting cold feet. Mm-hmm. And then she starts asking questions. and she has her weapon out, but she sets it down. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Miles is already on the property. And then the target, he's telling Charlie about his own daughter, Becca, who ran off.
We get the backstory. We kind of get we get the gist of why they don't like Drexel.
Yeah, so she ran off to Drexel's place and got hooked on heroin and then ended up dying. So, you know, it wasn't all the fun stuff she thought was going to go on over there.
Right, and that's why they like destroy half of Drexel's crop.
And also, right at that moment, her little weapon that she had in her hair that she ended up setting down falls off the desk and rolls like underneath the desk. I was like, oh my gosh, this couldn't get any worse. Oops. So Aaron is pulled out to the grounds and surrounded by Drexel's men. They shoot Nora up with pure adrenaline, and poof, Alex, she's back. She's brand new right then.
Would adrenaline actually do that? It's like, oh, she's good as new.
I know it would like bring you back or whatnot, but I don't think you'd just be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what word for word. What's going on?
That was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Drexel's gonna have Nora and Aaron do the old, the old school American Revolution style shoot at each other from close range. And I was like, man, this is a sick, twisted fool with nothing to do.
And they're not even gonna do 10 paces.
No, and if anybody needs power, they need to give him a pendant so he can just get Cable back because he is bored. I was like, yikes, this is what you call entertainment. So back to Charlie. She spots another weapon in the room and heads for it while the target is getting her some tea. And then when she goes to stab him, he stops her, but she knocks him out with a teapot? Really? She knocked him out with a Beauty and the Beast style teapot. And Charlie says she's sorry as she's going to do him in. But Miles grabs her arm and stops her from killing him.
Okay, and this was the part where I was referring to earlier. What's going on is, like I stated, I think that she's kind of she wants to be like her Uncle Miles, but Uncle Miles doesn't want her to be like him. Isn't
that how it works, though? Because that's exactly I have a nephew who is an MMA fighter, and me being a former pro boxer, of all people, was the one that tried to talk him out of it. So it fits. You want better for the next generation.
Yeah, you do. And it's like, I don't want you to be like me.
Don't be like me. Please.
It's like, do as I say, not as I do.
So Drexel wants Nora and Aaron to play the game of shooting each other, and the winner stays alive. Or do they? And so now this thrusts us into another flashback. Now we're 8 months after the blackout, and Aaron is trying to make a fire, and he's frustrated, and he says that, he's a techie and he's not a protector, pretty much. And this is what you were talking about earlier. He doesn't feel helpful anymore. And he's kind of not, up until this point. He's kinda, you know what I mean? He's kind of just, he's not meshing well with the situation.
Right, yeah. Well, he's been living this way for 15 years, and there's a huge empty spot in his life because he doesn't feel that he's adequate, doesn't feel he's quote unquote handy.
And you would think that he would have adapted some fighting or some kind of skills in the past 15 years, though.
Well, the one thing, I think you're right about that, because when you're in a situation like that, it's basically survival of the fittest. He survived for the last 15 years. How did he survive? He would have had to have picked up some of those skills to survive. You know?
Yes. Or did they just stay in that little town that they built and just never go anywhere? Did he just stay sheltered there?
Well, he would have had to learn some agricultural skills, I would imagine. Maybe some hunting skills.
I would think something. So I don't know, but his redeeming is coming up. So Drexel is counting to 3, and Aaron asks Nora to shoot him because he's not needed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that line was kind of funny. I'm not needed, so to shoot me. But Aaron pulls his gun on Nora to force her hand, then appears to shoot himself. And I was like, wait a minute here. Why would you just sit there and shoot yourself? But
Well, Drexel comes up to check up on him, and lo and behold, what does Aaron do? He's miraculously alive, and he shoots Drexel.
because alcoholism, this is what the message of the episode was. Alcoholism is okay because in the end, the flask could save your life from a bullet.
And you know what? I totally disagreed with that because he got lucky. That's what happened. He got lucky. He meant to do that to himself, and it so happened that he wasn't paying attention, and his flask was miraculously there, and it saved him.
Now, can I just ask this one question? And this will be, hopefully this is my only rant of the episode. But why didn't anybody just immediately kill him once he killed their boss?
Yeah, I think that definitely earns the stupid Mike Memorial Award right there. Because exactly that's exactly what I thought. Because they shoot their boss, and don't they have all these guns on them? And that would be the first instinct, was to shoot him and take care of it. But they's like, oh, he's dead. I guess he was a bad guy after all. Okay, you guys can go.
They did too. They just sat there like, oh, okay, you killed him. And I was like, you have your guns drawn down on him? Then for what purpose? Why did you even have your guns drawn on him if you had no intention of shooting him? It didn't really make much sense to me there.
Yeah, to me, this was the only part of the episode that didn't quite make sense.
But and then here, all of a sudden, we have the meetup. Nora and Aaron meet up with Charlie and Miles.
And so the fellowship reunites.
Miles is pretty shocked about the whole scenario. Aaron
did this? Are you sure?
And then Aaron is happy that Charlie didn't kill the target. And apparently Nora is just fine. So all you need is just a little bit of rest and blood transfusion.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I didn't like. It was like it was almost too perfect.
And then we get one last flashback with Aaron and his wife. She wakes up and Aaron's gone with his ring and a note laying by her that reads, "I can't protect you. You're better off with them. I'm sorry. Love, A." So she cries out for Aaron, but there's no answer. So her and Sean, which I'm sure that's who she's with 15 years later, move on with the group while Aaron watches from the tree line. And I was like, oh, I guarantee you her and Sean are going to run into Aaron.
So so this basically set up some future episode where somehow this either gets resolved or even we'll have more questions, but this will be dealt with one way or another in a future episode.
And lastly, as we close out the episode, Danny is being taken to a park bench where Rachel is, and it's family reunion time. Mom, is that you? Because I have blonde hair and you have blonde hair. I was like, okay.
Does the carpet match the drapes?
Oh, Drexel is in this podcast. Woo-hoo. Nice. So next episode is titled The Children's Crusade. Charlie wants to help a boy and his friends, but Miles isn't sure that they should. Rachel meets someone from her past. Wonder who that's going to be.
I don't No.
So, Alex, any other things that you wanted to talk about before we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. I referred earlier to some late breaking news. Now, like I said, the diehard Revolution fans probably know what I'm going to be talking about. It appears that the powers that be are going to have the Revolution episodes last until it's going to last until November. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my stupid cat is messing with my stuff. So folks, I got to around this time she's begging to be fed, so she's going to have to wait a little bit more. So anyway, what's going on is the NBC is going to have the few more episodes play in November, and then they're going on hiatus until March.
Whoa. Wow. Why so long?
Now, I don't know. They give no explanation for it.
So how many episodes will we see then? By the time
I think what episode are we on right now?
I think we're only on number 5?
5. So we're probably going to go to at least probably 9, maybe 10. And then it's going to go on hiatus until March. Doesn't this kind of sound familiar?
Yeah, sounds very familiar. What in the heck?
I don't, and it gives no explanation why they're doing this. And I got this information from, hang on, let me look that up. Here we are.
It's making my hair stand on end. I couldn't use my mustache with my Don King outfit. Not with this mic, not with this pop filter and mic so close.
Okay.
Rub.
My computer is giving me technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That's what they're made for. That's what the crap is made for.
There we go.
Don't worry, this will all be covered.
Okay. This is from IGN that I got this information from.
The video game website?
The video game website. And this was from Eric Goldman, who works for IGN. Let's see. It was right at the end. Okay. NBC has revealed the show will be off the air from the end of November until the freaking end of March, quote unquote.
What you talking about, huh?
Not good.
And so, in its place, let's see. Hang on.
Will be Evolution, a show.
That's right. It's actually it's going to be V.
Yeah. They're going to wrap up the 5th column episodes. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. That is so stupid, man. So you got to wait 4 months to get 4 more episodes?
Right. Okay, here it goes. The Voice is going to return March 25th because I know they're just wrapping up. And so Revolution, the season's only bona fide hit new series, will return and follow The Voice.
Wow.
And it's going to conclude its current fall broadcast. So it states that it's going to conclude its current broadcast dates in November and then come back in the end of March.
Amazing. Okay.
So,
well, that's a little unfortunate.
I don't know. So take that for what you will, but if this is the only bona fide new hit series from NBC and they're treating their series like this,
we're in trouble.
We're in big time trouble. The only thing that's going to happen with their viewership, it's going to go down.
Oh yeah, after that long of a wait. After that long a wait, or they can pull a Supernatural and come back and be on a different day of the week and tell no one.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, my DVR starts recording while I'm watching something, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? Oh,
yeah, this isn't it.
Oh, amazing. Nobody besides me with the DVR knew that. Awesome. So Millions of people missed the show. Oh, man. That sucks.
So evidently we have probably about 4 or 5 weeks tops, and then we're on hiatus as well.
Oh, man. I
don't know. I think we may have to pick up one of these mid-season replacements.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, we'll pick one that's really hokey that nobody else is doing a podcast.
Then we can just rip it apart.
Yep. It'll be like the 30-minute rip apart. Alex, let's rate this episode, though, because I'm curious to see where you put this one. I was very impressed overall with the episode. I loved finding out more about Aaron and his backstory. And I say this was easily an 8 for me.
And I'm going to agree with you. I rated it an 8 as well.
Awesome.
There were just a few minor hokey things, but they weren't really that noticeable to me until after talking with you about it in this episode. So
I'm good for that.
So overall, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
And I hope they keep the momentum going, because we know the momentum is going to come to a sliding halt at the end of November.
As Mellow bets from some of our other podcasts, as he says about us, Alex and Hank could poke holes in a freaking solid steel bowl, solid steel, one of those big weighted balls. We could poke holes in it.
And that we were very well could.
Yeah, we probably could. But all right, is that going to do it?
That's going to do it.
Okay.
And again, like the big announcement from yesterday that everyone was probably on the internet for, Walt Disney did buy Star Wars. And how I feel about this, I think this is going to be a good thing, because as we see, George Lucas, he's passing on the torch to some of the younger filmmakers, and we're going to see some new Star Wars films. So I'm happy about it.
I'm happy about that, and I'm happy to go in hopefully a little bit different direction with the directing. Yeah,
and hopefully we'll see much more improved Star Wars in comparison to the awful prequel.
Yeah. Yes. All right. This is a little bit shorter version of the show because Alex and I have to go trick-or-treating.
It's trick-or-treat time. We got to go get our candy.
I'm Don King, and he's Mike Tyson.
Woohoo! Give us some candy.
Throw out some superlatives. But all right. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this edition of Revolution Cast. And we hope you'll tune in next week. For Alex Cruz, I'm Hank Davis. Until next time, my friends, we're signing off.
See ya.